it's inevitable that vehicles will encounter sudden issues on the road. In Pakistan, no matter how serious the breakdown is, all you need to do is make a call to a mechanic, and you can enjoy the most considerate and quick roadside repair service, guaranteeing that it will be fixed on the same day. Today, this Suzuki mini truck is indeed a bit unlucky, because it was carrying 2 cows, and in the middle of the road, the rear axle broke. There are still some bloodstains on the rear bumper, probably from when the cow fell off and hit it. Since this vehicle often carries livestock, you can even smell the strong odor through the screen. The first step is to use a jack to lift the rear wheel. This type of screw jack is very portable. Many people keep one in their trunk. Although the vehicle is quite old, its wheels are new-style aluminum alloy rims. The rims are fixed with only 4 screws, so they come off easily. Next, lower the jack, and use a stone to prop up the spring plate. This makes the disassembly a bit more stable. The wheel on the other side also needs to be removed. The tools the mechanic uses for roadside repairs are quite simple. After unscrewing the bolts, the rear wheel must be lifted again before the tire can be taken off. Likewise, he used 2 stones found on the roadside to prop up the spring plate under the rear wheel. Using a jack for support is never too safe. Now, they're removing the half-axle fixing screws behind the brake drum. After removing the screws, the half-axle can be taken out. On the rear axle, there are 2 sets of horse clips. The screws of these clips need to be removed in order to take the spring plate down. Although this Suzuki is small, it's actually a proper rear-wheel drive vehicle. They'll start by removing the drive shaft from the rear axle. Then, open the right side brake drum, and also remove the half axle. When the 2 half axes are placed together, it's clear that the left half axle is broken. Next, remove the right side horse clip. The stones underneath are supporting the spring plate. Although the removal process looks dangerous, it's actually quite safe. The expected accidents didn't happen. The rear axle was easily removed. The rear axle of this 4-wheel vehicle is quite thin and looks almost like a 3-wheeler's rear axle. In this case, the rear axle must be sent to a nearby repair shop. The only issue with this rear axle is a broken weld. The overall structure is still fine. A few taps, and it's as straight as new. The simplest repair method is to weld it again. The mechanic probably has enough welding rods for the job. Next, the welding begins. No auxiliary tools are used, and no measurements are taken. The mechanic is this confident. To prevent the weld from breaking again, he brought 2 steel plates, and welded them onto the axle, guaranteeing that it can be used for another 10 years. Neither the apprentice nor the master wears a protective face shield. Indeed, welding skills should start from a young age. Learning these solid skills from early on. After welding, the steel plates didn't fully fit the axle, so the mechanic took it next door for further processing. He used a blowtorch to heat the steel plates, then used a small hammer to knock them into place, ensuring both sides of the steel plates fit perfectly. Then, he brought it back for more welding. Finally, let's check the welding result. Although the repair looks a bit rough, at least it can still be used. Of course, we can't forget the half axle. Just like the rear axle, the brake on the half axle is also very neat. However, this repair shop doesn't have a lathe, so they can't repair such auto parts. Therefore, the mechanic had no choice but to buy a new half axle. It's 2.5 kilometers from the breakdown point, so he rode a motorcycle back directly. At this point, the mechanic is still wearing flip-flops in the winter. Looks like their weather isn't that cold. Before installation, some gear oil is applied to the gear teeth. They generally don't do maintenance on these vehicles, so, while they're at it, they also take care of the gear maintenance. Next, the rear axle is installed. No tricks, just pure skill. These mini trucks are too easy for the mechanics. Most of the jobs they take are for big trucks. Breakdowns like this on small cars are rare. Suzuki trucks sell quite well locally, especially the small 4-wheel trucks, which are cheap, so these vehicles are quite common in Pakistan. But they're probably mostly second-hand cars imported from Japan. In fact, there's still a huge market for small displacement vehicles here. These mini trucks are loved by many people. Finally, the tires are installed, and the vehicle repair is complete. Follow my channel for exciting creative videos every day.